You know, service robots, they're kind of popping up everywhere now, right? Cleaning our floors, helping out in surgery, you name it. But as they get more and more common, it begs the question, what actually makes a robot a service robot? Let's dive in.
I mean, you've definitely seen them. That little disc vacuuming your living room, or maybe a rover delivering food on a college campus. They're all super helpful, but they look totally different from each other. So what's the official line here? What's the one rule that actually ties them all together? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out.
And to answer that, we have to start with the official definition. And, spoiler alert, it's a little more specific than just a robot that helps people.
Okay, so here it is, the official super technical definition. Ahem. An actuated mechanism programmable in two or more axes, moving within its environment to perform useful tasks for humans or equipment, excluding industrial automation applications. I know, right? That is a mouthful. But believe it or not, hidden inside all that jargon are three really simple rules that make everything crystal clear. Let's unpack them.
So that super dense definition really just comes down to these three things. First, it has to perform a useful task. Simple enough. Second, it has to actually move around in its environment to get that task done. And third, and this is the big one, its main job can't be manufacturing stuff.
Actually, here's an even cleaner way to think about it. A service robot is a robot that doesn't produce anything. If its core purpose isn't to make a physical product, then you're probably looking at a service robot. It's there to perform a service, not to build a car.
This analogy really nails it. You know those giant robotic arms you see on a car assembly line? Yeah, those are industrial robots. They're the factory workers. But a robot that brings you room service or mows your lawn, that's more like a chef or a chauffeur. See? It's providing a direct service.
Okay, so now that we've got a good handle on what a service robot is, let's get a little more specific. They basically fall into two main categories, and it all depends on who's supposed to be using them.
On one side, you've got your consumer robots. These are the ones you or I could just go out and buy. Think of your Roomba or one of those robotic lawnmowers. You don't need a special certificate to run one. But then on the other side, you have professional robots. These are serious machines built for trained operators. We're talking about incredibly complex surgical robots in a hospital, or those logistics robots zipping around a massive warehouse.
And get this, here's a point that might actually surprise you. A service robot doesn't have to be fully autonomous. Some of the most advanced professional service robots out there, like the Da Vinci surgical system, are completely controlled by a human surgeon. Same thing goes for some assistance robots for people with disabilities. They still count because they're providing that direct service.
But you know how it is. With any set of rules, there are always these interesting edge cases where the lines get a little blurry. And honestly, this is where it gets really cool. Let's take a look at the strange case of the mobile robot arm.
Okay, check out this specific rule that shows just how wild this can get. It's about an autonomous mobile robot, an AMR. That's basically the little cart that drives itself around. The AMR itself, that's a professional service robot. But, and here's the kicker, if you attach a robotic arm to it, that arm is counted separately as an industrial robot.
So the crucial point here is that you can have one single machine that is officially classified as two different kinds of robots at the exact same time. It's wild. The mobile base is providing a service, moving around, while the arm is doing a task that's more like something on an assembly line. It's a true hybrid.
All right, so we've covered the formal definition, the two main types, and even a really weird exception. So let's pull all this together and talk about how you can spot a service robot out in the wild.
So, what does it all boil down to? First, just remember those three rules. It does something useful, it moves, and it doesn't make stuff. Second, think about who's using it. Is it for everybody? That's a consumer robot. Does it need a trained pro? Then it's a professional one. And finally, just remember that sometimes the rules can get wonderfully weird. So, the next time you see a robot zipping around an airport or a hotel or maybe even your neighbor's yard, you'll know exactly what you're looking at. The real question is, now that you're armed with this knowledge, what other machines are you going to start noticing that are actually service robots in disguise?